reading. It's more of a sermon to the Church of Metropolitan, to my friends, my congregation. It's church time, bitches. I am your pastor, and I am here to make you feel guilty. You know the prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. Well, that vague platitude is not bringing me a whole lot of serenity when it comes to my identity, my body, and my community. In the face of a community behaving in ways that are unacceptable to me, do I seek to change myself in order to be perceived the way I desire to be perceived? Or do I continue to demand and work for change within the perceptions and behaviors of the ostensibly radical community, a community that fucks with gender in all manner of conceivable ways, but still doesn't seem to quite understand trans issues, a community that is, for all its power, all its beauty, still complicit in my trans identity being ignored, erased, and offended constantly. I think of myself as a woman. Well, maybe more of a girl, because I seldom act very grown, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that I'm trans, genderqueer, gender fucked, and insistent on the pronouns she, her, hers. I am more than insistent, I am. I am she. I am a she. Recognized. But here's the kicker. I'm not on hormones. Well, many of you know that's not true anymore. But and all of these sentiments remain true. I haven't had the surgery, nor am I dedicated to the amount of body maintenance and makeup application it would otherwise take for me to pass. I have a body that is, dare I say, the dreaded words, biologically male. And no matter how feminine I dress and act, no matter what I say over and over and over again, few people seem to see past that. But I am not a transvestite, and I am not a drag queen. I am a woman. I have stubble, chest hair on a flat chest, and a cock. And I am a woman. Apparently, this is something I need to prove. It is not enough for me to know it, not enough for me to speak it, not enough for me to beg and plead and bleed and cry for it. I guess most women like me prove it with their bodies, as women are often required to. I often wonder how much of my body I would need to change in order to finally be accepted as a woman. All of it? If I jumped up into the stars and color swirled around me in anime glory like I was Sailor Moon, and I came back down to the ground in perfect form. 36, 24, 36. A D cup. I would prefer A's or B's, but I would like to be really clear that I am definitely a woman. A well-grown pussy, childbearing hips, a functional baby up, and a high yet comforting voice, a submissive demeanor, and a sexuality oriented exclusively towards men. Would that be enough to make me a real woman? To conform to the ideal of the patriarchy would surely be enough. No, really, let's get serious. Assuming I have money and access to health care, what would be enough? Estrogen and T blockers, laser electrolysis, a myriad of plastic surgery, or the cherry on my sundae, having them slice that dick in half, invert it, vajazzle it a bit, voila! Would that make me a woman? A trans woman? A woman? A real woman? No! Delete that term from your vocabulary, because it's awful. Pretty much all the words I'm using with air quotes here are awful. Like if I had all the lady parts that finally made me recognizable as a woman, then I could be she? Pause. Shout out. Shout out to my trans women. All of our bodies are women's bodies, and we know that, even if nobody else sees it. And shout out to you for your extraordinary minds. Shout out to the greats, the women who have been our voice in a world that too frequently takes our voices from us. Kate Bornstein. She... wrote the book that helped me come out to realize what I was and what I wanted. I want to be a trans dyke. Ah! Laverne Cox, she who brought her fierce trans presence into mainstream entertainment media and owned it like it was easy. Janet Mock, she who told her story with courage and conviction and took no shit. Chelsea Manning, she who put her life on the line to tell the truth. Laura Jane Grace, Jane County, Lana Wachowski, she's who own their art and craft as uncompromising, revolutionary, professional, badass creative women. Nina Arsenault, Amanda Lepore, she's who make their trans bodies transcend, ascend into the world of artistic creation. Cece McDonald, she who served her unjust time, lived, survived, and made herself a symbol to stand against injustice, and our foremothers, Christine Jorgensen, Candy Darling, Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia motherfucking Rivera, and shout out to the countless, endless others, unlisted here, some unlisted anywhere, because they were not seen, were not recognized. Pause. Recognize.
Yeah.
I have a confession to make, though. Changing my body to match the mainstream public perception of what a woman looks like is just not at the top of my to-do list. It's not at the top of my to-change list. I don't feel like I should have to change my body in order for people to see me or who I am. The idea of that is absurd to me. Sure, if I won the lottery, or if my fairy drag mother came down, lifted me in starships, laid around me, and dropped me down biologically female, then I would be ecstatic, overjoyed. Then, you know what I would do? I would put on a t-shirt and jeans and a baseball cap. I would chill the fuck out and stop worrying about whether people see me for who I really am. And then I would strap on a big rubber cock and fuck and get fucked like a champion. I would still own myself as a sex-positive, body-positive, dyke faggot bitch. But by God, I would get called she every single fucking time. But I know in this world, all the money and all the surgery and all the hormones might never be enough for me to pass. Or maybe in the end, it wouldn't make me as happy as I thought it was, because I'd still be the same insecure, anxious, depressed, ADD train wreck I always am. So, fuck passing! Fuck passing! Because it's arbitrary! Because it's bullshit! Because it's not real! Because what is enough? What does it take to be, a woman? What is gender? What does it feel like? No, seriously, what the fuck was Shania Twain talking about when she's saying, man, I feel like a woman? What does that mean, to feel like a woman? I said I did, but if asked to explain it, I would fail, because there is in all likelihood absolutely no universal feeling associated with being a man or a woman. None. No universality whatsoever. Millions of exceptions to every conceivable generalization. We each feel our own way about our bodies, our gender, our pronouns, and that is legitimate and important. But this isn't about feelings. It is about bodies. The way they are perceived, the way they are desirable or undesirable, empowered or unempowered, legitimate or false. I am not trying to prove to you that my gender experience is legitimate. I fucking know it's legitimate! Yeah. What I am trying to prove is that we are sick in the way we think about gender. Sick in the way we think about bodies, all of us. It is ground into us from so many angles. We are marinating in patriarchy, sexism, transphobia, and general gender blindness. We can't see what's right in front of us because we have steeped for too long in ideas and values that lend paramount importance to the most ridiculous of signifiers. Signifiers written on the body instead of on our expression, visually, linguistically, ideologically of ourselves. And you know what happens when you steep your tea for too long?